Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're talking about A Dog's Journey, which of course is the sequel to A Dog's Purpose, making it one of the most unnecessary movie franchises of all time, but I digress. To catch you up to speed, it's about a dog that reincarnates every single time that it dies. In the first movie, it lived life after life after life until eventually it accidentally ran into its previous owner. And I really do mean accidentally, because that's the problem with the first movie, right? It was called A Dog's Purpose, yet there was never a purpose that the dog had in the film. There was never a point in the film where the dog's like, okay, I'm living this new life, I have a second chance, I need to find my old owner, he needs me. Nothing like that. Instead, he just lives life after life after life, and eventually he runs into his old owner by mistake, and he's like, oh wait, I know him. End of movie. So for A Dog's Journey, I needed something better. I needed there to be a purpose that the first one was missing, and based off of the synopsis and based off of the trailer, it seemed to be the case. Absolutely, right? Dennis Quaid's character notices that his dog is about to die again, and he's like, listen, you have to come back again. Not for me though, you have to come back for my granddaughter CJ. She needs you now like I needed you before. So I'm like, yes, perfect. A mission, a story goal, something that the first one didn't have. This is gonna be better. And not only that, this movie's called A Dog's Journey. So, journey to complete the mission to protect CJ. I like it. However, this movie has the same problem as the first. Basically, where the first, A Dog's Purpose, had no purpose, the second, A Dog's Journey, there is no journey. I kid you not, as soon as the dog reincarnates into its new form in puppy format again, CJ walks around the corner. No more journey. And that's actually the problem with this movie. Again and again and again. The dog reincarnates several times. Yes. But every single time, CJ walks around the corner. All the dog has to do is sit there and wait for it to happen. You might be saying, oh no, that's fate, Dave. That's fate. And I'm like, I don't really believe in that. I think it's just bad writing, because one of the best things a dog can have is the ability to find its way home again. Why can't this movie do that? Why can't A Dog's Purpose do that? Homeward Bound did it. It unfortunately makes me feel like this movie lost a bunch of potential it could have had, just like A Dog's Purpose, because it is so easy to do it the other way, and yet they never do it that way. To me, like I said, that's just bad writing, and when you dig a little bit deeper into the writing category, you look at the dialogue, and even the dialogue didn't seem that right for me. Josh Gad was really prominent and clever in the things that he said in A Dog's Purpose, and that's not really the case here. Everything he says in this movie, almost everything, seems forced. There's a lot of times in this movie where he's like, oh, I like it when they scratch my ears. I like it when they pet my tummy. I like it when this happens. And I'm like, why are you even saying this stuff? Obviously, you're a dog. Obviously, you're very happy in general. You like these things. We know how dogs work. It's almost as if he hasn't said anything in a while. They need him to say something. What can we make him say? He likes that. And it just didn't work for me in the same sense. I thought it was a lot more clever and even funny and cute in the first one. And this one just felt forced, which is kind of weird because it is an adaptation of a book. They both are, but at the same time, I don't know what the book did because I never read them. And then start to think about the foundation of this film, right? It's Dennis Quaid saying his granddaughter needs the dog's help. Why though? Because he's noticing that his daughter isn't raising his grandchild like he would raise her. So at the end of the day, the foundation of this film is found in a helicopter parent type scenario, which is kind of dumb. I mean, he's right, technically speaking, because it's a movie, but in real life, that would just be helicopter parenting. There is a lot of stuff going on in the writing category that I just wasn't a fan of. But where does it go right? Pacing. 1,000,000 times better than the first movie. Even if it's done a little bit stupid, even if it's done in a way that I wouldn't do the same way, it does feel like it's the same genre from beginning to end. The problem with the first movie was it did feel random. He lived a bunch of lives with a bunch of different people from a variety of different cultural backgrounds, right? So when that happens, all these people who live different lives, they live different genres if they lived in movies. And that's what the movie felt like, a bunch of different genres. This one felt like the same genre from beginning to end because it did focus on that same character from beginning to end. Whether you're just talking about Bailey or you're talking about CJ, both of them are in the movie from beginning to end, which helped ground the film and make it feel like it was more of a movie than a collection of short films. In the end, that's why my score for this movie is actually higher than the first movie. They're actually pretty similar in score, but the reason why this is a little bit higher is because it feels more like a movie. I just wish that this movie had more of a purpose than the first movie had, which was no purpose at all. And this kind of has a purpose, but it's completely broad, completely generic, nothing specific. As soon as the dog starts to live with CJ, you feel like the movie's done. And you feel like that because the dog has nothing to do. But I guess that's just more of a small complaint that I have personally when I watch this movie. And once again, just like the first movie, it's cutesy pootsy. That's about it. I mean, it's not even as cutesy pootsy as the first one, but I guess it's similar in a certain regard. So my score for A Dog's Purpose was 60%, and my score for A Dog's Journey was 64%. 64 out of 100 possible stars. If you're curious as to where that ranks in my 2019 movie rankings, in 22nd place. So yeah, if you've seen this movie, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. I'm curious to see if you like it, if you're just a dog lover and just think it's cute, or if you think it has problems like I mentioned before. Also for YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe to me, hit that like button, hit the bell to be notified when I come out with my next review, and until then, peace out!